So unions provide a voice for all union membership, and they use the political process in an attempt to alter market constraints they face. Unresolved disputes and grievances between unions and employers could lead to a call for a strike or resolution through a third party, which is called arbitration. Now, there are a couple. So one of the things that we talked about earlier in the course was that one thing that unions look for is inelastic demand. Now, the reason why they want inelastic demand is because with this type of demand, they're able to get higher wages for their employees with a lower drop in the demand for their services. And so they try to make this demand elastic, or the other hand, to increase the demand for the labor services. And so a couple things they can do. First, they can shift the product demand. So to increase the demand for the products and thus for the labor demanded for it, unions have supported import quotas and tariffs that have restricted the importation of foreign-made goods, and they've also lobbied against legislation such as the NAFTA, North America Free Trade Agreement, which reduces the tariffs. And so unions are pro-quota, pro-tariff because it creates more demand for their workers. Another way that they have gone to make the to affect the demand is by restricting substitution. So when you talk about production, substitution occurs when firms switch from labor to capital as a way. So for example, a lot of companies now are switching from having people take orders when you go to a fast food restaurant to people doing it on a machine. And so unions have really gone to lengths to try to do this, to try to stop this. The way they do that a lot of times is by increasing the cost of these other inputs, increasing the cost of the machines. So, for example, construction unions have persuaded states to require that non-union contractors work on public projects to pay a prevailing wage. So basically, if they don't hire union workers, they need to pay higher amounts to non-union workers. So that's just another example. Another way that unions can work towards collective bargaining and work towards getting their the benefits they're looking for is by agreeing with the union, or agreeing with the employers to settlement if there's cases where there's a debate over wages versus productivity. And so a lot of times what they'll do is they'll say, look, we're gonna get members for you, and our members are gonna work harder and they're gonna do more for you. And if they do that, we want higher wages for them. And that's through the bargaining process. Now, if a bargain can't be reached, a threat of a work stoppage can force both sides to come to an agreement. The employees don't want a work stoppage because they don't get paid. The employers don't want it because they are losing profit. So it's a lose-lose. And so this is some of the ways that the firms, that the unions negotiate and bargain with each other.